Thank you for coming this morning. Our topic today is intuition. And I wrote a little bit about it in the newsletter if you happen to read that. But our yoga practice is something that can help us with our intuition. So one of the things we can consider is how much does our attention go outward versus how much does our attention go inward. And for most of us, 90% of our day, our attention is going outward, right? So we're looking, to those news sources or to other people to kind of give us answers instead of sort of looking within and, thinking about what we really might want or need or feel. And so in the yoga tradition, if we are kind of always looking outside of ourselves, that can be really stimulating for our senses, right? We might feel overstimulated, particularly if we're on a lot of social media and devices and screens and things like that. That's always drawing our attention outward. And so we're not going to really be able to listen to that voice within, to our own, inner wisdom if we're always looking at those outside sources. Not that all those outside sources are bad, but we need to also spend some time going within. So that's what our practice is going to be about today. We are going to start as we always do on your back. We're going to need a set of blocks. Make sure you have those. If you don't have blocks, we can just modify. And a yoga belt. I have a blanket down. You might not need it today, but I always put it down for myself. If you want a pillow for your head, that would be good too. And I will meet you on your mat in a moment. All right. All right, so go ahead and come flat on your back. I'm going to stay seated just so I can kind of talk you through some things at first. And we'll just take some time to settle in here. Actually, let me grab my earbuds so you can hear me better. Put those in. All right. So take a couple moments and just tune in to your own body, your own self, your thoughts, and kind of notice what is present for you today. Notice if your energy, what is it feeling like? Are you feeling kind of balanced? Are you feeling maybe a little anxious, ready to go? Or maybe you're feeling a little tired, not sure you're ready to go. I'm just checking in with these tendencies. Yoga calls these tendencies the gunas. So when we are raring to go, we're really amped up, maybe we're overstimulated, that's called rajas. And when we're feeling kind of heavy, lethargic, not raring to go, maybe trouble getting ourselves motivated, that's called tamas. And that place in between, called sattva. And sattva is where we want to be, where we're going to be able to access that inner wisdom. So we want to be in those extreme states. We want to be more centered, balanced, where we can have clarity, openness, wisdom. So just notice where you are, so you can maybe have a little comparison to the end of your practice. I'm going to start to focus on your breathing. Following the breath in and out. And see if we can let that breath come into the lower belly. So as a culture, we tend to keep ourselves really busy. We tend to always have something to do, right? Not often that we just kind of sit and be still. And when we do that, we tend to become disassociated from our physical body and even from things like noticing our breath, noticing our heartbeat. So get yourself really subtle with your awareness and notice what you can feel and sense. When we disassociate, we start to suppress our natural instincts. We ignore that, right? We might ignore our body's signal to get something to eat or get up to the bathroom because we're so engrossed in what we're doing that's pulling our awareness outside of ourselves. And the more we do that, the more we dissociate, the more we cut ourselves off from our natural instinct, the less available it'll be to us. It's like that kind of, if you don't use it, you lose it kind of thing. Same thing with our intuition and our wisdom. On your next inhale, let's go ahead and take a full body stretch. Reach your arms and legs out, grow long. And then as you exhale, we're gonna go ahead and bring those knees into the chest. Give them a good squeeze. That's it. I'm gonna just hold there for a moment. As you inhale, with your hands on your knees or your shins, let your knees pull away slightly so your arms are straight. And then as you exhale, pull them in and pull your belly down toward your spine. Really squeeze out all the breath. And then let's repeat that a few more times. Inhale, the knees move away. Exhale, pull them in. Draw your navel toward your spine and compress your abdomen. We're going to do that just a few more rounds. So we're activating a little bit of our core, our abdominal region. Think of this as activating our gut instinct today. We disassociate with that gut instinct. Always there for us. Our body, through subtle signals, lets us know when something's wrong, when something's off, right? Let's do one more round like that. But if we're too busy distracting ourselves, we're gonna miss these subtle signals. Now we're gonna take those legs straight up toward the ceiling. And first, just let's circle the feet around a little bit. And then go the other direction. We'll wake up the ankle joints. And then point flex. And now we're gonna keep going with this abdominal work. So we're gonna inhale, reach the legs up. Exhale, pull them in. Squeeze that lower belly. And again, inhale, legs up. Exhale, pull in. Flatten that lower belly. Squeeze. And again, inhale, legs up. Exhale, squeeze in. Okay, now we're going to change it up. Inhale, legs up. Exhale here. Inhale, legs apart wide, like a straddle position. Inhale the legs together. Exhale, squeeze in. So we added a piece on. Inhale, legs up. And let's just go for the exhale with the legs wide. Exhale. Inhale, legs up. Exhale, pull in. One more like this. Inhale, legs up. Exhale, legs wide. Inhale, legs together. Exhale, pull in, squeeze that belly. Good. Now we're changing it up one more time. This time take the legs apart, but the knees are bent. Almost like we're doing like a bound angle in the air or a kind of a happy baby without our feet up. Inhale, knees apart. Exhale, squeeze in. We're just getting some different positions of the legs here. Inhale, legs apart. Exhale, squeeze in, pull the lower belly down. One more time. Inhale, knees apart. Exhale, squeeze in. All right, and now let's hold it there. Take an inhale as you exhale. Lift your head, chest, and shoulders if you like. If it's too much, keep it down. Hold here, take an inhale. Exhale, squeeze the knees in, pull the belly down. Try to lift your head and shoulders. Make a little ball. And then let it all go. Let the arms come down, let the legs come down. And take a nice big stretch. And then we're going to bring those knees in one more time, roll to the side. And we'll come on up into a seated posture. And here we could go ahead and sit up on a pillow or a cushion, whatever you got. All right. So we'll take a moment, find your seat, maybe widen out the sit bones. I'm gonna feel like that pelvic floor is right on the ground. And then we'll sit up nice and tall. We'll take an inhale, squeeze the shoulders up by the ears. And as you exhale, slowly, slowly melt them down away from the ears. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, squeeze up. Exhale, slowly lower. And 1 more time. Inhale, squeeze up. And exhale, slowly lower. Good. Inhale, reach your arms out to the sides and overhead. And as you exhale, we're going to just draw right through the center. We'll keep that going. We're just going to kind of imagine that, all that energy that goes outside, we're drawing it back inside. Do that 2 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. I want this practice to be nice and meditative, so we feel like we're really kind of tapping into ourselves. 1 more time, though, this time keep the palms overhead. If you can meet the palms, great. If that's too much on your shoulders, just keep them wide. And now let the sit bones really drop into the ground and reach your fingertips up high as you can without popping your ribs. So notice if your ribs pop forward, you'll know because you have a little tension in your back. So see if you can center the ribs over your pelvis. So there's no contraction through the back as far as like a certain particular area. You want it very even. Okay, from here, drop those palms down right to the crown of your head. And then we're going to bring those palms to the forehead and then to the heart. Good. And then release your hands down for a moment. Okay, so we're going to repeat that in a little bit. But first, I want you to just sit here. Maybe close your eyes. Find a soft gaze. Come to your breath. And if you read ahead about what we're doing today, you know that I asked you to prepare a question. And if you haven't done that, that's okay. I just want you to sit and breathe for a moment. And if you had a question that you wanted to kind of ask of your intuition, of your higher self, like, what do I do? What's the next step? What direction do I take? Whatever it is for you today. Just bring that question to mind. And you can use that question throughout our practice today. And having that question in mind, let's inhale, reach those arms up again. Bring the palms together once again. Sit bones drop down and then lift up evenly through that rib cage. Reach through your fingertips. And now as you exhale, bring those palms to the top of the head. And we can let this kind of symbolize connection to higher power, our highest self, or, our guides. It could be our God of our understanding, whatever kind of comes to mind for you. And we can ask that question of the highest self. And then we can bring the hands down in front of the forehead and ask that question more kind of from our mind level. Sometimes the answers are a little different. And then we're going to bring it down and ask that question of our heart. And again, listen carefully to see if there's any little bit of wisdom, a little bit of guidance. And then let's release. Inhale, reach the arms up 1 more time. And this time, just come into a side bend, 1 hand down, and reach over to the side. Good. And then let's come up and over, reach over to the other side. And now let's go on various angles, bringing the hand a little forward and stretch a little bit more on an angle forward. And then again, other side. And then we're going to go a little bit more toward the back. And getting into that side waist so we can lengthen, and then we'll come right back up through center. Good. Okay, let's come into tabletop pose, all fours. And feel free to pad those knees if you like. And we'll set up for cat-cow. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Now, if it feels safe and comfortable, I'd like you to just close your eyes for a moment. When we close our eyes, we're starting to close off one of our senses, the one that we probably use the most, looking outward. And really feel and sense into your palms. Press through those palms. Press through your finger pads. Feel that you can lift your arm bones away from the floor. Lift your shoulders away from the floor without rounding your spine just yet. And we're going to take an inhale, and as you exhale, come into cat back, round your spine. Get a sense of kind of looking within. Pull your tailbone towards your head. And then reverse. Inhale, arching your spine. Exhale, rounding your spine. Now this is a movement we've all done a lot of times. As long as you don't have any dizziness or vertigo, let's see if we can try a few rounds, maybe with the eyes closed, or a very soft gaze. Let's do 2 more cycles. Inhale, and exhale, going on your own time. One more round. And we'll come into a tabletop pose, widen your knees, and bring yourself back to child's pose. And if you can, let's stack our palms up and rest your forehead on your palms. If your head doesn't reach, go ahead, grab a block and put a block underneath your brow. So this is the kind of symbolic third eye point right there in the center of your brow. So in the yogic tradition, when we talk about the chakras, this is the area that would be associated with our inner vision, our imagination, and our intuition. We can get a little too much energy up here, and we might feel unsettled and anxious, and maybe even prone to things like, hallucination, nightmares, or we can be really balanced here, and we can be actually closed off too, low energy here, and we're disconnected with that part of ourselves. All right, let's go ahead, come back up into your tabletop pose. And this time we're going to make hip circles. Just take your hips and kind of move them around in a circle, going in one direction. Again, if it feels good for you, you might close your eyes and just kind of sense what this feels like to make a circle with your hips. And then reverse it, go the other direction. So for some of us, eyes closed, really soothing, but others, it can be a little unnerving, unsettling. So if it's too much for you, keep those eyes open. And now we'll come back through our tabletop pose. Take an inhale, exhale back to child's pose. And this time we're going to inhale up on our knees, reach the arms overhead, stretch up. And then exhale back down, child's pose, just kind of part way. You don't have to even touch your head to the floor. Inhale through your tabletop pose. Look up a little bit. Exhale back to child's pose. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale back down, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. This time, tuck your toes, add on a downward facing dog. Lift your knees off the ground, just for a moment. And then knees down, inhale for a little table, looking slightly up. Exhale back, child's pose. Inhale, rise up on your knees. So we're gonna just repeat this sequence a few times. So we get really meditative with the movement. Exhale down, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, down dog. Good, knees down. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, up on your knees. Last round through. Exhale down, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, down dog. And then we're coming through, knees down, inhale, table, exhale, child. And now once again, stay there. Stack up your palms, rest that third eye on your palms. And this time, take a moment and roll your head a little side to side across your palms if that feels good. You can also use a block. Just kind of massage it out as if we could sort of open this area of our intuition. All right, so next inhale, let's come back up in the table. This time we're gonna grab our blocks. Put your blocks under your hands. And we're gonna work with some lunging. So if knees are sensitive, again, make sure you have something under your knees. Okay, step your right foot forward, coming into a lunge. And then bring your hands up onto your thigh. So we come up to vertical. Pull the tailbone down, lift the front of the belly, lift your chest. And as you inhale, circle your arms out to the sides and overhead. And if it's okay for you, bring those palms together. Aim your tailbone down and reach your arms up. Pausing here, one more breath. And then we're going to lower those palms toward the top of the head. And then to that third eye point. And then to your heart. Good. Hold it here, press the palms together, lift your chest. And then release, hands come down to the blocks, step back. Other foot comes forward. And then hands up on the thighs. Lift the belly, lengthen the tailbone. We're hugging the hips into center to help us balance. And then inhale, reach those arms out to the sides and overhead. Palms together if you can. If that feels too tight on your shoulders, you could stay wide and then just bring the hands together as we come down. Inhale, reach up tall and aim the tailbone down toward the ground. So when you do that, you feel that lift in the belly and that little bit of the tailbone kind of hooking forward. And then hands to the top of the head, to the brow center, to your heart. And then hands down, step back. Good. From here, walk your knees back, shift back, brief child's pose with your hands up on the blocks. So your head will not touch the floor. You're just getting a little stretch into your shoulders. And then back up into your knees, onto your knees. Step your right foot forward again. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, this time right to the heart. Bring the hands right to the heart. Press the feet into the ground, inner thighs hug in. Inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So you're going to bring your palms pressing together, turn over toward your right. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Good. Inhale back through center, reach those arms up overhead. Keep that tailbone drawing forward, hip points lifting up, and see if you can slide a little deeper into your front knee. Press through that foot and then reach the arms up, 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 and slightly back. Good. Release your hands down to your blocks. Step back. Other foot steps forward. Soon we're going to get off the knees. One more time here. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, bring your hands right to your heart. Good. Press those palms together, open the chest, and then we're going to turn to the left. Keep hugging those inner thighs, pressing through the feet. Breathing here. One more. And then we're going to slowly return to the center. Reach those arms back up overhead. Hip points lift, tailbone draws down and slightly forward. And then we might drop into that knee a little bit. Reach the arms up, 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 slightly back maybe. Maybe you even gaze up if you feel pretty steady. Otherwise, keep your gaze forward or down. And then release. Hands down to the block. Step back. Shift back for that child's pose stretch. Arms up on the block. All right, and then from here, we're going to set the blocks to the side. If you have a blanket on your mat, let's go ahead and take that off. We're going to come up for some standing poses now. Okay, so once you've cleared your mat, come back through your tabletop pose. And step your hands slightly forward of your shoulders. Tuck your toes, lift up, downward facing dog. This time, maybe you're gonna pedal it out, bend one knee, then the other. Maybe you shake your head out. And then we're gonna come into plank pose. So bring your shoulders over your wrists. You can drop down to your knees here if you like. Make sure your palms are kind of just straight ahead or just slightly externally rotated. Chest forward. Slowly lower all the way down to your belly. Okay. So put your forehead right on the ground. So that third eye points right on the ground. Pull your hands towards your feet, shoulders back. And now as you inhale and lift up, try to keep the back of your neck long. So we're not going to throw the head back. And then slowly release, forehead to the ground. 2 more times like this. Pull the hands back, shoulder heads back. This time reach back through your toes. Inhale, lift up. Maybe you close your eyes and look at that third eye point. And release. 1 more time, all the same actions, lifting up. And then we're going to press to tabletop pose. Lift up, downward facing dog. Knees are pretty well bent, and then walk your hands back toward your feet. Keep a bend in the knees and fold forward. And then we're going to inhale, reach those arms all the way out and up. And come into our mountain pose. So stand tall in your mountain. So feet can be about hips distance apart. Lift the front of the abdomen, lengthen the tailbones. We correct any imbalance in the pelvis. And then we're going to inhale, reach those arms out and up. And then exhale to the crown of the head, to the brow center, and to your heart. Good. Okay, inhale, reach your arms up. Keep them up. See if you can bring the palms together. And now really root down through your feet, aim your tailbone down, lift the front of the pelvis, and reach the arms up, up, up without flaring the ribs. So if you flare the ribs, your back is going to tighten up. Good. So get yourself in this nice long straight line like an antenna. And now we're going to try some heel raises. Lift your heels off the ground and see if you can reach even higher. And then lower your heels down. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale, lift up, lift the heels. You can always hold on to a wall with one arm if you need to. Lower down. And 1 more time. Inhale, lift up. This time, let's hold it for an extra moment. See if you can have another breath here. Press your palms, press through your feet. Lengthen the tailbone. Good. And then we release. Let those arms come down at your side. Half sun salutation. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Try not to kink your neck, so still gazing down, slightly forward. Exhale, fold over your legs. And now inhale, rise up. And as you do, lift your heels, bring your palms together. If lifting heels is too much, keep them down. Good, now hands to the top of the head, still with the heels lifted, to the brow, to the heart, and lower your heels. Very good. Inhale, reach the arms. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. You can always be at your own pacing too. Inhale, rise up, lift your heels. Pause. And then hands to the head. Heels stay lifted if you can. Hands to the brow center. And hands to the heart. Good. Lower your heels down. All right, let's do a full sun salutation now. So I'm going to stand at the top of the mat. Inhale, the arms reach out and up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step back to plank pose, top of a push-up, and you can drop your knees here. Chest forward, lower all the way down to the ground. Forehead touches the ground. Pull your hands back, reach your toes back. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, all fours. You can also go right to dog if you have the energy to do so. So I'm just teaching it with knees first for gentle yoga. Hold here, another breath. Lift your sit bones high. And this time we're walking the feet to the hands, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, just bring hands right to the heart. Good, one more time through. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back, plank pose, top level push-up. Drop the knees, chest forward. Lower all the way down. Stretch back through your toes. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Go to your knees first if you like. Hold there, another breath. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now we're gonna stay in that forward fold for a few extra breaths. Keep your knees a little bent. Good. Lift the sit bones toward the ceiling and reach your chest toward the floor. You can hold opposite elbows if you like. You can also hold big toes. Let's stay here another breath or two. You can switch the crossing of your arms now for 2 more breaths. After that second breath, you're going to root through your feet, engage your belly muscles, slowly come up. You can either press up or roll up, but try not to use your back muscles. Use your legs, use your core, come up to stand, and then pause. So back in our mountain pose, we're going to work on our tree pose. So you're going to stand on your right leg and bring your left heel up for just a kickstand tree. Adjust your pelvis. We have that neutral pelvis. Lift the front of the abdomen, lengthen the tail, and then we'll bring the palms together at the heart center. Good. Press your palms, lift your chest, open your chest. If you're really steady, bring the foot off the ground. Place it below your knee. If you feel like you're unsteady, keep that foot on the ground, because we're going to change it up in a moment. So hug toward the midline, pressing your foot and your leg, engaging your belly muscles, pressing your palms. And now let's see if we can take those palms and reach them overhead. Same thing we did before, but now one leg's off the ground. Aim the tailbone down, reach the arms up. Lengthen through your whole body. like an antenna. And then we're going to bring hands to the top of the head, to the brow center, and to the heart. Good, and then release. Let that foot come down. Release your arms, maybe shake it out a little bit. Okay, let's try the other side. Stand on your left leg. Bring your right heel up. You can start there in the kickstand, hands to your heart. You can stay there. Remember, we're hugging everything to the middle. So we're hugging the foot and the shin, hugging our inner thighs, hugging our palms together. If you're steady, pick the foot up. If you feel a little unsteady today, keep that foot on the ground. And we're making sure that opposite hip doesn't pop out to the side. Keep it in, firm it in. All right, when you're ready, you can take those arms and reach them overhead. And then get long stretch through the center of your body. Root your foot down, reach your arms up. And then hands to the top of the head, to the forehead, and to the heart. Very good. And then release, set that foot down, release, and shake it out a little. Take our time. Okay, let's step the feet apart wide. Turn the whole right leg to the right. Turn the left toes in, widen that heel a bit, and we come into warrior two. And we're gonna bend into that front knee. Good. As we inhale, we're gonna straighten that leg, reach the arms up and overhead, get long like we've been doing. And then exhale back to your warrior two. Good, and again, inhale, reach the arms up, reach, 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 lift the rib cage. And then release back to your warrior two. Good, inhale, come up, staying here. If you can, palms together now. Reach those palms up. Reach down through your legs to your feet and come into reverse warrior with your palms together toward the back. Now, if that's too much, release one hand down. Good, back to warrior two. Bend into your knee. Good, let's try that again. You guys look great. Straighten that leg, palms together if you can, or you can do it the traditional way, and then side bend towards your left. Like firm that hip in as you side bend. Good, back to warrior two. Straighten that leg, parallel your feet, hands to the hips. Okay, let's do the other leg. Turn the left leg out, right toes in, widen the heel, bend the knee, warrior two to your left. Good, and then inhale, straighten that leg, reach your arms up, lengthen, lengthen. You don't have to touch the palms at first if you don't want to, and then bend back into your warrior two. Really just a meditative movement. Inhale, reach up, lengthen, lengthen, and exhale, back to your warrior two. Very nice. Watch that front knee doesn't go past the ankle. If it does, you're going a little too far. You might need to widen your stance. That's it. Good. Inhale, come up. This time, palms together. Lengthen, lengthen. I even like to cross my thumbs. And then side bend to the right. Firm the right hip in. Inhale, come up. Back to warrior two. And again, inhale, come up. Palms together. Side bend toward the back. Firm that hip. And back to warrior two. Last time through. Inhale, come up. Side bend. And then warrior two. Good, straighten that leg, parallel your feet, and pause here. All right, so if you know you need blocks to reach the floor, you can grab those. We're gonna come into a forward fold. So the feet are maybe 3-4 feet apart. We might turn the toes in just a little bit. So just a tiny pigeon toe, not too far. You don't want to torque the knees. And we're going to bend the knees a little bit, hinge at your hip creases, and bring your hands to the floor or your blocks. We're going to pause here with straight arms. So straighten your arms, keep your chest lifted away from the floor, and then press through your feet, keeping the knees a little bent. We want to feel like we're turning the feet in slightly without moving them, just like that other cue we worked on last week, where we externally rotated. This time, feel like you're spinning your feet in without moving them. It's isometric. It takes our thighs back and apart. Feel that, thighs moving back and apart. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Now, if you can, close your eyes, looking at that third eye point. You can stay here or on your next exhale, fold forward over your legs. Find that little inner spiral of your legs and your feet. And then we're going to inhale, come up again, straighten the arms, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward, draw your belly in as you fold. One more time. Inhale, come up, lengthen, arms straight. Exhale, fold over your legs. And now we can stay. You can even stay without folding. That's fine too, especially if you have dizziness or glaucoma, things like that. You want to stay up on the straight arms. Those of you who are able to can fold. Maybe you'll hold your ankles or keep your hands on the floor. Last breath here. Lift your sit bones up. Keep the knees a little bent. And then hands come back out underneath you. Heel toe your feet back in so that they're close enough that you can bend your knees, hands to your hips, and come up to stand. And then come into your mountain pose. Pause here for a moment. Been down there for a while. Have another breath. All right, from here, we're going to come down to sit. We're running out of time. Feel free to have a cushion to sit on. We're going to come into bound angle, soles of the feet together, knees apart, and just hold on to your shin wherever you can. Pull those feet in a little bit and lift through your chest. Now, if it feels hard to sit up tall here, do grab something to sit on. So I'll show that with the pillow under me. That really just gives a little bit more tip of the pelvis. We can feel like we can more comfortably sit up tall. Now, if it's comfortable for you, let your hands turn up, palms up, right on your knees, and sit up tall. If it's comfortable for you, close your eyes for a few breaths. Bring the sit bones down, lift the chest up, lift the crown of the head up. One more breath. And then you can either stay here for a few more breaths or come into a forward fold. So you might start to bring your hands towards your feet and hinge at your hip creases and fold forward. Let your chin drop a little bit, come to your breath. The winds are starting to kick up here. I'm worried we're going to lose power today. Hopefully we won't lose it during class. Let's hold on a little bit longer. So 2 more breaths here. And after that second breath, go ahead, slowly start to come up and use your hands to draw your knees up. Take your time. And then we're going to grab our strap. Okay, so your left leg can be wherever it's comfortable. We're going to take the strap around the right foot and extend that leg out in front of us. And you're going to press your foot into the strap, pull on the strap, and lift your chest up nice and tall. Good. Holding here, another breath, really extend through that leg. Now we're gonna take the strap just into your left hand, hold as close to your foot as you can. Inhale, reach your right arm up. See if you can feel like you're gonna touch the sky, get as tall as you can, and then open up into a twist, bring that arm back behind you. Now push into the foot, reach through your arm, lift your chest. And hold there, one more breath. And then we're gonna come back through the center, hold that strap in both hands now. Keep lifting your chest and rotate your arms so that your elbow creases turn up, which will help you stay a little more lifted through your chest. One more breath. And then slowly bend that knee and release. Come into a cross leg position with your right shin in front. Inhale, reach those arms up. And exhale, bring your hands down onto the ground, walk yourself out a little bit, coming into a little hip stretch. And then just take a few breaths there. One more. And then slowly walk it up, take your time. Now we'll switch sides. So now right foot can be wherever it's comfortable. Take your strap and bring it around your left foot and lift that leg up. Push out through your heels, spread your toes, shoulders back. And then we're gonna take that strap into your right hand, take your left arm up, try to touch the ceiling, reach as high as you can, and then open up into the twist, take that arm back behind you. Push through the foot, reach through the arm. Hold it here, another breath. And then we're gonna slowly come back, hold the strap with both hands, and turn those elbow creases up, lifting your chest. Good, slowly release, cross your shins, and come into your forward fold. And then we'll take a couple breaths there in the forward fold. All right, slowly start to walk yourself back up. And we're gonna stay in a comfortable seat for a few more minutes. We'll do a couple more things and then we'll come into Shavasana. So what we're gonna do is just, gonna do crown pulls they're called. We're gonna bring our fingertips to the center of the forehead. So I'll come a little closer so you guys can see. So just bring your fingertips to the center of your forehead. And you're gonna press in gently and imagine you're gonna open that space up. Pull your hands towards your temples and just kind of sweep off. And just do that a few times. Press, pull, and sweep off. Yeah, so we're gonna do that a few more times. Working up toward now the hairline. We're gonna go all the way across the top of the head. So this is a kind of symbolic of, opening up that third eye area. But I also like it when I have a headache and there's a low pressure system. It just seems to alleviate pressure for me. Now go toward the top of your head. Press your fingers into the kind of center of the top of your head. Let's go toward the hairline first at the front and then pull off. And then work your way across so that you go through your whole top of your head. Press fingers down, pull apart. Imagine you could release any tension, any pressure, but also symbolically kind of opening our minds. Work your way back down now, toward the front, toward the hairline, back to your third eye. Take your time. And then let your hands rest down when you feel like you've finished coming back through. Just kind of be aware of that area of the body. Now we're going to do an eyebrow squeeze. You're going to take your two fingers, your thumb and your index finger, like your pincher fingers. Let me get it come close again. All right, so take your pincher fingers and you're going to come to your inner eyebrow and you're going to squeeze. Hold for a moment and then release and move slightly outward. Squeeze, move slightly outward, and squeeze. Now, as you get to the outer edge, it becomes a little harder, at least for me. I don't have quite as much flesh there. Do the best you can. And then come back to center and do it again. So we're trying to release any tension here around the brow center. When we squeeze, it sends the blood flow out of that area. When we release, it brings fresh circulation in. So it's kind of refreshing this area. One more time through. It's great if your eyes are tired or strained, and then release and shake that out. Okay, go back to my cushion. Let your hands rest down on your thighs for a moment, sit up tall. And just, again, just feel the after effects of that work you just did. Bring your awareness to the brow center. All right, so we're going to do one more thing here. We're going to do alternate nostril breathing. So if you've never done this before, you're going to have your right hand, well, I'm not mirroring you, so this is my right hand. Your thumb is going to be blocking your right nostril, and your ring finger and pinky finger are going to block your left nostril alternately, okay? Sorry, there's like so much sun here. I'm trying to get a good view for you guys, okay? And then the remaining fingers can rest at that brow center, okay? So what we're going to do is first release your hand down, take a couple of breaths normally, in and out through both nostrils. Okay, bring your hand up, place your thumb on the right, index and pinky on the left, other fingers on the brow center. Good. All right, we're going to take an inhale through both nostrils. Exhale through both nostrils. Close your right nostril softly. Inhale through your left. Close the left. Pause for a moment, concentrate at your brow, and then exhale through your right. Open the right. Inhale through your right. Pause, close both, hold, and then exhale through your left. Continue, inhale left. Close. You can now go at your own pace once you know what you're doing. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close, pause, and exhale left. Now on your own, you can do a few more rounds. If your arm gets tired, hold it up with your other hand or switch. Let's do a few more. Every time you pause, focus at that brow center. And then see if you can let the exhale phase be a little longer. Last part. Really empty out on the exhale. Let this be your last round. And then finish with an exhale through the left nostril. And then you can release your hand down and take a few breaths through both nostrils. And notice how you feel. Sometimes for me, this practice gives me a little more clarity. It helps balance out the hemispheres of the brain. Also just brings us to that sattvic state that I talked about at the beginning of practice, where we feel more balanced, more in touch with that inner wisdom. So now let the eyes close, focus at your brow center, last few breaths. And once again, bring your question to mind. And then inhale the arms up and overhead, last time for this. And bring your palms to the crown of the head. To your brow center. And to your heart. Let the hands release. Have another breath here. Kind of attuning to that center line of the body. And we're going to make our way to Shavasana. So go ahead and come onto your backs when you're ready. Grab any props that you might need to be comfortable. Setting yourself up if you want a pillow under your head or something under your knees. Cover up if you feel like you need some weight or some warmth. And then go ahead and just start to settle into the ground. Let the weight of your body drop. Take a few rounds of conscious breath into your belly. Back in touch with the gut instinct area. And just tune into sensations in your body, perhaps comparing your state of being into the now compared to where you were at the start of your practice. When we spend time focusing on our bodies, some sensations in our bodies, focusing on our breathing, this all brings us more into that state where we can listen within. Our senses are not pulled so outward. Feel a little more balanced, a little more calm, a little more grounded. When we're in this space, we're able to hear those signals from our gut. You know, the gut knows when something's off, or our heart. You might feel it in our shoulders. We know when a decision is not always the right course of action if we start to feel really contracted and we tighten up, like our body telling us it's not the right way to go. We tap into our wisdom, we can determine, whether that's just fear, kind of holding us back from something that is right for us, versus when something is really truly not right. Take a couple more minutes to rest here in this balanced state. All right, so you're always welcome to take a longer Shavasana if you need it. Otherwise, we're about at time, so we'll start to let the breath deepen a bit, move fingers, toes, have a gentle reawakening. If you'd like some bigger movements, a little stretch, you're welcome to do so. Maybe hug your knees before coming over onto your side for a few moments. Try not to pop right up. After you've had a few moments on your side, go ahead, excuse me, and return to a seated posture. Sit on your cushion if you like. We'll sit up tall. And then let the hands rest down again for a moment and either close the eyes or have a soft gaze. One last time, attuning within that inner wisdom. Perhaps if answers haven't come today, if we keep revisiting, keep coming back to this place of being centered and grounded, clarity, perhaps those answers will come. Call this our tapas, our spiritual discipline, when we return again and again to our practice. So let's bring our hands together in front of the heart space now. We'll take an inhale, allowing the heart to lift, and then exhale, bring your head to meet your heart. And thank you so much, everyone. Namaste. All right, so feel free to unmute. Thank you guys for coming for class. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
I hope you get your answers to your questions.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you guys next week. Unless you're coming to pajama yoga tonight, I'll see you then.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Take care.